All right. I want to do something real quick.
Hello everyone, this is your daily dose of internet. There's a tradition in China where
Okay.
if a man gets married, random stranger.
All right. I'm just checking to make sure that we got audio there. We do. We've got audio there. Okay. Last time we did a live stream, I was trying to get the audio to work on desktop. So like if we were to watch a YouTube video or something like that, we could all enjoy it together. And it wasn't working, but appears that it's working now. So I should be able to just pop off my microphone if we need to at that point. Welcome, everybody. We're going to do a little AMA session here. These live videos are all about just growing as a community, learning a little bit more about myself, and then I get to learn some about you as well, the viewers. So it's usually a pretty good opportunity that we have to enjoy together. Basically, just let us know where you're tuning in from, how your garden's doing. If you want to talk gardening, feel free, drop a comment in the section down below. Let us know if you've got any questions, if you've got any issues that you've ran into, or perhaps just any stories that you'd like to share about your gardens that you've experienced this year. Whatever it might be, let us know. Drop a comment where we're going to be serving anybody who comments in these AMAs. So no matter what you want to talk about, I really don't care. I'll give my opinion. I will talk about it. I'll share my beliefs, whatever it might be. Just feel free. Don't be shy to let us know what you want me to talk about. Really, really anything goes. My name, if you guys are unfamiliar, my name is Ripley Sartain. I'm 28 years old. I live in southeastern Wisconsin. I have a family of 5, so we have 3 children. They all love gardening so far. They absolutely adore getting out there and picking the tomatoes, the beans, the peas, peppers, kohlrabi, radishes, just about everything. Carrots. They love getting out there with us. It's a family thing for us. It's something that we all love to do and something that we're going to be doing forever. So you, the viewer, that's what you're tuning into. You are, watching our family's journey. We don't do like a lot of family content. I don't think that we will until the kids are older and, they're actually able to hold some projects on their own and share those with you guys. Then we'll start doing some more stuff with the kids as they show more interest in wanting to develop videos themselves with a purpose and with an end goal of some sort in mind. We want to instill that in our kids for sure. So at that point, we'll see more family stuff. For now, we do like little vlog things every once in a while we'll put up. But for the most part, we keep the kids out of it because they're quite young yet. 5, 3, and basically a year and a half old. So pretty young. Don't really need them on YouTube that much. Our year of gardening was good. Oh, also I got to mention we have channel shout-outs. I'll be bringing it up a couple of times throughout the live stream. We're going to do channel shout-outs. So if you have a YouTube channel where you produce some content on of any sort, we'll take a peek at it. We'll take a look. And if it's something that has to do with gardening or the other, like outdoor stuff, whatever it might be, we can spend a little bit more time on it, go through some of your videos and share them with the community as well. So if you've got a YouTube channel that you make videos on, let us know, drop it in the chat, say, give me a channel shout out, and we will hop over on our desktop and share that here on the live stream as well for you. Let us know where you're tuning in from tonight, everybody. We got 5 viewers right now. Give us a couple of thumbs up. Let's get the live stream rolling. Usually it takes a little bit to get everybody in here. Some of the OG viewers tune in and start dropping some comments. But if you're tuning in, just let me know. Drop a comment in the chat, whatever you might want to talk about. It's kind of, these AMA sessions are just for you to get to know me better and have a little fun. Fall has hit us pretty hard here. The beginning of this week has been pretty good, but last week we got some pretty cold temperatures. It was a little bit weary on parts of the garden. Everything is doing very well. Our fall crops are doing good too. I feel like I might be a little bit behind on some of the fall crops, but they're still going to produce for me nonetheless. I know that for sure. And hopefully we get some good kohlrabi, beets, and radishes. I know the radishes for sure will produce because those are almost bulletproof. The kohlrabi, I'm a little bit more weary on. I'm not so sure if they're going to give us production or not. Maybe we'll get little 2.5-inch kohlrabi that we could harvest at least. Getting a call from Moraine Park Technical College. Not going to answer it right now. Yeah. Went there for my electrical license, my apprenticeship, which was great, incredible. Highly recommend it. Oh, my son's calling me. I will be right back. Scooch. All right. Ugh, my mouth always dries out when I talk constantly. Talk. Let's see if my mic's coming through good. Yeah. All right. Guys, who is viewing right now? Let me know where you're tuning in from. Let me know what you're up to in your garden. Let me know what you're up to in your life, whatever it might be. Just drop a comment down in the section. Let's get some conversation going. Perhaps I should tune in and do live streams later. Sometimes it's a hit or a miss with them. You never know when people are going to be available. Viewers all over the world. Some are like, can you do your live streams at 4:30 in the morning my time? Because, it'd be the right time for them. It's like, No, cannot do that. Why is it so hard for me to do that? Hello, we got a comment. Hi, Karen from Essex, England. I mainly grow flowers, but started with herbs and tomatoes this year. I find your advice on cuttings great. Keep up the good work. Awesome. So I am starting to do more and more flower stuff as we're in more of an established property right now with our home, where we'll at least be for, I assume, another couple of years. We've started doing more and more flower stuff because it's a great way to spice up your property and make it beautiful. There's a ton of different varieties in England, Essex, England. Not super familiar with the weather conditions there, but I do know in certain parts of England there are some gorgeous perennials that they have growing. So it's really cool how many different plants that people grow, as their staple flowers, all throughout the world. There's so many different things and different choices out there. Herbs are so great because it doesn't take a lot to grow a decent amount of herbs at all. Just a couple of small containers and you can grow a lot of herbs that you'll use throughout the season, especially if you dry them and store them. Tomatoes are awesome. Tomatoes are some of my favorite vegetables to grow. The Karen, on your comment about the cuttings, the reason why I love doing cuttings and propagation stuff is because of kind of almost what you're hinting to here, is that I believe it's a great way for people to grow their curiosity with planting and growing plants, because it's something that intuitively kind of sparks a little bit of creativity in us, and it's like something that's fun to do. Kind of feels like a fourth grade science project or something. Propagating plants is a lot of fun and it's cool for everybody to get into. And the more we start growing our skills, the more we're going to branch out and do more and more stuff. Do I have a video on rose cuttings? No, I don't. I don't have a video on rose cuttings. We just got our first 2 rose plants this year. One of them, I believe, must have either the soil had compacted too much and was really wet, or it just didn't take from the planting. But one of them had died, passed away. The other rose plant is growing. It's a white rose. I wonder if I can find a picture of it just to show you. But I do plan on taking some cuttings of that and propagating. Basically, here's what we do. Any plant that we grow or adapt into our homestead and on our property, typically what I do with my videos is any kind of care or any kind of experiment that I do with the plant, I want to make videos of that, and that's what I do. So as I grow a rose plant, I will do all sorts of things to that rose plant. And as I do them, as I fertilize them, as I, till up the soil with the weeds and put it and compost it right in the soil, whatever it might be. When I prune them, cut them back, propagate them, all that stuff, I will be making videos. And that's what I do. So you'll find that I have a lot of plants that are my go-to plants that I consistently make videos on throughout the year, like our elderberries, our willow trees, tomatoes, sunflowers. We didn't do a lot of sunflower content this year, actually. And then I used to do a lot more propagating videos, but I got now our biggest thing this year was our propagation with willow logs that we did, because I've never seen that done before on YouTube, and it was incredible. Here's our rose. You can't see it, kind of, right there. So it's a white rose, and then it's got little speckles of pink throughout the rose as well. Next, I don't even know what time you take rose cuttings. I would assume it would be early spring. But that's what I use winters for. I do all kinds of research on the plants that we are growing and figure out what kind of videos that we want to make on them, what kind of stuff that we want to be implementing in the garden for the year, all kinds of stuff. So right now in the garden, we're kind of in this phase, right, where it's fall. We've had a crazy busy summer. We are now tapering off a little bit. Things are dying out. We're cleaning up the garden. We're adding lots of layers of compost and kind of sealing up our beds, trying to keep them alive for the winter, possibly even planting cover crops. I highly recommend doing that. But we've done all this stuff, and now we start to look at winter. We can't grow a lot outside unless we got a really nice greenhouse, which we plan on getting in the future. But most of us have to go inside for our growing, and that can be hard sometimes. This year, we've got a couple of raised beds that we'll be growing in downstairs in the basement, which I think will be a lot of fun. We were growing some seedlings down there that were doing well, but then all of a sudden they died off on me. I think I got a sudden infestation of a bunch of like fungus gnats or something. So they grew, my seedlings were about, I don't know, an inch or so tall. They were just getting their first set of true leaves, and then they all just peeled over. So I'm going to have to sow some more seeds down there. I'll be making some videos. More and more videos are going to be downstairs as we start to cool off outdoors. Of course, outside, we've still got to gather up all of our tubers from our dahlias. We're going to get the bulbs from our gladiolas as well. We're going to do some pruning and stuff when it comes to later in the fall, early winter season. We're going to start cutting back our willow trees pretty aggressively and see if there's any other trees that we have to focus on as far as our early winter pruning goes. I'll go through and do a mild shaping of the trees in early winter. And if I see fit to the point where I have to take off a larger portion of that tree, I like to wait. For some reason, I just like to wait until late winter and early spring. So for me, that looks like right around March, early March, late February. I would take heavier prunings on those where I'm shaping the tree and shaping, whether it be the willow tree, the pear trees, apple trees, whatever it might be, elderberries even, I'll do the same thing. Wait for large cuttings until later on in the season, right before they start to wake up. We got 6 viewers in here. Make sure you guys give us a thumbs up if you enjoy the videos, if you enjoy the channel. Drop a comment in the section down below. This will be AMA, so we can talk about anything. Ask me anything, whatever it might be. Just let me know. Let us know where you're tuning in from tonight. Very cool to see where everybody lives. It's incredible the power of the internet that we've got here. where, I'm able to hopefully teach and build people's passions for growing all around the world and reaching millions of people, where before, you think years and years ago, I probably would only be able to reach a couple thousand. So it's been a blessing. It's been really cool. Let us know where you're tuning in from tonight. Oh, life has been busy. Let me move this back a little bit. Scooch. There. These chairs aren't very comfortable. Ugh. And reminder to anybody else as well, we are doing channel shout outs. So if you've got a channel that you make some YouTube videos on, let us know. We'll check it out. I'll make a comment in the section down below. Let us know if you would like. Pin. There we go. All right, let us know if you'd like a channel shout out on the live stream. If anybody makes some YouTube videos. I always recommend that if you've got something that you're passionate for, that you should really, really think about making a YouTube channel on it, because no matter what, you're going to be doing that thing. So if all you've got to do is learn a little bit of editing skills and get recording some videos, why not? Why not? Because more likely than not, there's somebody out there who relates to you and your passion and what you're doing. I think we just about hit 61.1 thousand subscribers here on the channel. Awesome. We are inching our way towards that 100K. I expect it to come, I don't know, in the next year and a half or 2 years, maybe 2 years probably. Would be incredible, and then by that point, that's about when we'll get the new property with some land. We'll start getting some animals and stuff, so it's going to be a lot of fun. Really, really excited for the long-term outlook of this channel and our lives and what we're building towards. We've got a lot of cool stuff coming down the rails for all of us, and so I just thank everybody who's been tuning in and who's been commenting, who's been sharing the stuff. I really, really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. It means the world to me. Big picture stuff. We have basically a 10-year plan, 15-year, 30-year. I'm doing this forever. Doing it forever because it's what I absolutely love to do. If you're tuning in, we are doing channel shout outs, so we can go and check out your YouTube channel if you make YouTube videos. This is also an AMA style, so comment a question. Let us know if you've got anything that you want us to talk about. If you've got any questions for me, no matter what it might be, just drop it in the comments section. Also, if you're just tuning in, let us know where you're tuning in from on this beautiful afternoon. Here in southeastern Wisconsin, it is, 50, must be 56, 50 something degrees. 58 degrees and cloudy. It was raining earlier today, some sprinkles, little showers here and there. Very fall-like day. Oops, sorry, plant. I love the fall. It's one of my favorite seasons. Spring and fall, got to be the best. Summer's great and all, but doesn't beat fall and spring. No way. No way. If you're tuning in, thank you so much. Give us a thumbs up. Drop a comment in the section down below. Oh, boy. We haven't been able to do a live stream the last couple of weeks just because we've been so busy. Like, there was just, we helped move in a couple from Ukraine. Like, we had a furniture moving party with our church, and that was incredible to be able to, get all the stuff moved in. It happened really quickly and efficiently, but that just happened to be on a Thursday afternoon, so had to do that. And then the other day, we just had an incredibly busy week, and the house was all messy, so I was like, I just don't have the time to do a live stream right now. But we try and do them as much as we can. I should just call them all surprise AMAs because you never know what it's going to be on a Thursday. But I'm thinking, I will try and do them as often as I can each Thursday. Hopefully, likely in the near future. But, life is busy, especially when you got 3 young kids. I accept that. If you're just tuning in, drop a comment in the section down below. Let us know where you're tuning in from. AMA, whatever you want to talk about, let me know. We got 6 people, 7 people in here right now. Let's hop over to desktop. Boy, we have so many videos here. Let's check out some of the oldest videos we had. Growing pothos ivy grapes over winter. My very first video, I renamed it. We had like our how to plant a lotus seeds. Those are the first videos that we had on the channel that really like took off. It was very cool. 2016. Isn't that that's incredible? Long time ago. 718 views, then we got 222,000 on that one. How to plant lotus seed, beginner's guide to composting. Then I got into succulents and cuttings, propagating, all kinds of that stuff. We had a little indoor grow room. This was cool. I don't know why I did all the aluminum foil because really that does not do that much. It did. I guess it did help with recording, like being able to see the contrast and the colors compared to the brown background that we had. But we had all sorts of little succulents growing. Little propagation centers. We had sempervivum. Those were like the first plants that we kind of started growing. I used to had a garden and stuff when I was younger, but then like in the interim, like from getting married and moving and buying a house and a condo and all that stuff, like just wasn't able to grow a lot. So we slowly had to build our collection of plants up over time, and we kind of illustrate that here on the channel too. So it's fun to go back and look at some of these older videos to see just how far we've come. This was something that I want to do more in the future. We had a little, like a waterway that was behind the property right here. And so what I was trying to do is build this out a little bit. So we had some plants growing all along here, and just kind of developed this into a little rain garden because it was really cool how the water split off in both directions, and then there was this little island in the middle of it. And unfortunately, that was just a temporary property. The in-laws live there now, actually. And it's all like grown in with different stuff because I haven't been able to keep up with it. But when we have some land, I hope to get like a little stream or something, and I can do some stuff like this to it, build little rain gardens. So that was a fun project, though. I did clear a lot out and get a lot done with it. It did just get full of nasty muck and everything before, but now some of the plants that we've got growing there natively have done very well. We had a little compost tumbler that we made out of 55-gallon drum. That was really fun. Willow water stuff. Then we got our first elderberries back here. 2017. We had elderberries at my mom's house previous to this, years and years ago. We had a little wild elderberries that would grow all over the place. This is our most popular video to this day, is the rosemary. Look at that hair. Man, I had some long hair. Amanda, thank you so much for tuning in. Does spraying hydrogen peroxide water mix help kill pests before taking plants inside for winter? What would be a good ratio for? I have heard of that. I've never done it myself, so I can't vouch for that for sure. So can't tell you exactly, but what I usually do is I usually fill up the tub with water and then like let them sit in the tub for an hour and a half or 2 hours, so that way it kind of just drowns everything out. If you're having a problem like that, and it might be beneficial for you to take some preemptive action a little bit heavier than just a water bath, and maybe hydrogen peroxide. Yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of recipes. If you just go on Google, there's all sorts of different recipes that seems legitimate. Yeah, and like some of the very reputable sources on YouTube, they also have videos on it here. So that would be something I trust. The ratio would probably be dependent on how you use it. And again, I've never done that before, so I couldn't tell you how to use. Some is saying like 1 teaspoon per cup of water, but that's just for misting the plant. So that wouldn't be for like a soil treatment. You would probably want to do a soil treatment if you're bringing them indoors for the winter months. Hello, everybody who's tuning in. Give us a thumbs up. Drop a comment, question, anything. Ask me anything, whatever it might be, whatever you want to talk about. Comment in the chat. Give us a thumbs up. Just hanging out here. We're taking a look at some of our older videos as we go along. Just doing some exploration. Thank you. Yes, you're welcome, Amanda. Thank you so much for commenting. Really appreciate it. I've got to do some more rosemary videos. I don't have a rosemary here yet. I am quite confident that we could get a rosemary to hold and to grow over winter outside here. I can definitely do that, so I've just got to get around to finding a spot for it and getting it growing in the garden. I do plan on doing it in the future. Little elephant bush bonsai planter. No rhyme or reason to my thumbnails back in the day whatsoever. Cow parsnip. There's a lot of drama behind that one. People are like, cow parsnip can't burn you. Only this plant can. Whoa, it's like, gosh, you guys, cow parsnip can too. It's just not going to affect everybody the same way. Like the hogweed. Different plants, yes, but both will do damage for sure. People react differently to different things. This seed box, we should go back and see if this is still moving around. Wisconsin Gardener Group on Facebook. Let's check that out. Wisconsin Gardener. Maybe I'm not a part of it anymore. Oh well. We had this cool little seed box. I'm sure there's different groups that I could check this out on. Maybe we should start our own seed box too. We could do that as well. Seed box is basically you just like take a couple of seeds, put some in there, pass it along, and then over time you establish a really cool box that's full of like a couple of dozen different varieties of plants. You get some really cool, unique stuff in there too. Built-in raised garden beds. Man, I don't know how many videos we're up to right now, like in total. It's probably like 500 though. Ooh, this one was cool. So we got to go out to a wind turbine, Cedar Ridge Wind Farm, as part of school. Look at these. Blade length, 131 feet, 15,000 pounds. Incredible. Blades cut out once wind speed hits 45 miles an hour. 14.4 revolutions per rotational speed. RPM. Doesn't seem like a lot. I guess, yeah, that is that. Yeah, 138 mile an hour blade speed. Big things, big old things. We got to go inside it. They've got their busway stuff in there. Pretty cool. All right, let's get back to the live. When do I usually go live? Thursdays. So Thursday afternoons is when we go live. We're trying to do every Thursday as much as we can, but there's just going to be weeks in there where we don't have a choice but to skip the live stream. But typically it's going to be Thursday afternoons, anywhere between 4 o'clock and 5:30. We're going to start them. We try to shoot for 5 o'clock openings, but today just things are shifted around a little bit, so that's what we deal with. Trying to figure out if it'd be better to do them later, if people are more likely to tune in live later, or to do a different day of the week or something, or the weekend, or like Sunday afternoon, or not really sure. It's hard to tell what would be best for everybody, including myself. It's hard to tell. I could also just do live streams whenever possible. Start doing more of them. I could do that also. But I don't know. Life is busy. If you're just tuning in, drop a comment in the chat. Let's talk about something. That's what I'm here for, to chat with you all. Let us know where you're tuning in from. Let us know what you ate for breakfast this morning. I didn't eat breakfast this morning. I usually don't. Typically go, from 7:30 o'clock at night till 3 in the afternoon the next day without eating. Small meal when I get home, and then a larger dinner, later in the afternoon. So I usually go quite a while without eating. It just agrees with my body better because I've got ulcerative colitis, and it's like a pain in the butt to deal with sometimes. Oh well. We are also doing channel shoutouts just in case any of you have a channel that you want us to check out. So far, we ain't got too many comments, and we ain't got too many YouTubers in here. We're going to do our best to keep going. Let us know what you want to talk about. AMA style, anything, whatever it might be. Is this thing on? What I really should do, I wish I had good enough service, is I would be outside in the garden gardening during these live streams so you could enjoy the garden with me. That'd be ideal. I've done that a couple of times, but the reception is just so spotty. It's irritating. I think I would have okay reception at least, but when I do the live stream on my phone, it just cuts out and everything. It just doesn't work out the best. Kind of stinky. If you haven't checked out our Facebook page, do that. Oops. Stop. Okay. Streamlabs desktop. Hey, Barbara York. Welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm glad you're able to make it. I was just saying these live streams sometimes are hard to nail down, like doing them all the time and then, figuring out what times are best for people to tune in and whatnot. If it's better to do them later in the afternoon. Ugh, so hard. But if you've got anything you want to talk about, just drop a comment in the chat. AMA style, we'll talk about anything and everything. I can't tell if you are still live. Yes. Oh, yes, I'm here. Still live. AMA style, we'll talk about anything, whatever it might be. I really appreciate the comments. Give us a thumbs up if you enjoy the stuff, enjoy the channel, the content, whatever it might be. All of the things. Just checking out our Facebook page. I want to show this because a lot of the times, like our viewers on YouTube are just not aware that we've got a Facebook page also. We're trying to put some more content on there. So we've got to take some fall pictures of the stuff that we've got going on. But usually you're going to see more of our photos here, and then we do our Facebook Reels. So shorter form content. But we see that was our biggest tomato plant that we harvested. Our elderberry videos, some okra here. People harvesting. Sharing our website, some of our mammoth sunflowers, our Pikes Peak sunflowers, stuff like this. This is what you can find on our Facebook page. Barbara York, Woodside. I want to ask about putting my garden to bed or even cold frames. Yes, where are you located approximately? Like what zone are you in? And then I'll tell you what I do for my garden beds. What I do to put them to bed is basically if I've got my last harvest out of there, whatever it might be. So say it's a late summer bed that I am not going to be growing in anymore. That last time I harvest, I'm going to take all of my cuttings, my trimmings, my vegetative matter, whatever it might be. I'm going to take that, chop it all up, lightly rake it / till it in the top couple inches of the soil. So that way it's going to be breaking down upstate New York. Yeah, so you're going to be doing this soon, if not already. I till all of that stuff, all of that organic matter into the soil right away instead of putting it into a compost container. The reason I do that is because it's going to be breaking up, or it's going to be breaking down, composting right away from day one. It's also going to be providing a little bit of cover on that bed, keeping it alive longer. So we want to be keeping, how do I chop it by hand? So it depends on what it is. Like typically I will just go through and chop it up by hand. You know, if I'm growing, say like we just did this with our carrots, with my carrot tops, I will just chop them off the carrots and then I'll just lay them flat on the bed. I won't even chop them up at all because the carrot tops dry up really nicely and then it breaks down into like basically this fine dust pretty quickly. So if you've got big leaves, to just take them and shred them up, whatever it might be. It depends on the scale of your garden. If you have a huge scale garden, then you can't really do this. But if you've just got small backyard gardens and, you know, cold frames, your raised garden beds, then this is going to be my most recommended method. Is just going to be tearing some of that stuff up, chopping it and dropping it onto the soil so it starts breaking down. Tomato stalks can get a little bit woody, and the same thing with broccoli, Brussels sprouts, your stalks themselves, any woody content that you get, you're going to want to separate that, throw that into your compost, or if maybe you have a separate pile for that woody stuff to go into, then throw it there, but don't put that in your garden. But, you know, take that stalk and rip off all of the leaves, drop the leaves on the ground, and let those compost as is. That's what I will do. I'll also sometimes take some wood mulch. What's up, buddy? Okay. Okay. And I'll also take some mulch or wood chip sometimes and put like an inch of it down, just a light layer. That is on beds that I'm not growing a cover crop on, at least. And if you're growing a cover crop, it's a totally different story. So you're going to want to start seeding your beds and getting that stuff growing. And with a cover crop, sometimes you'll either just let them grow and die out when it gets cold enough, or you will take what I recommend is to get a stirrup hoe and use a stirrup hoe and rip that along the bed. And it just, again, chops and drops your cover crops so they can then compost on the soil. Hey, buddy, you're in the live stream. You want to go out and play? You can go see if your buddy's home. You're crazy. Cover crop is a new concept for me. Yeah, cover cropping is great because it keeps your soil alive. The biggest thing that we're trying to do is maintain. Hi, this is my son. Hi, buddy.
Hi,
Do you want to say hi to everybody?
Hi, everybody.
Do you maybe want to just tell them a little bit about your favorite thing to grow in the garden?
My favorite thing to grow in the garden is peas, peppers, and and tomatoes.
Nice. Out of any of those, if you had to pick your favorite one, what would it be?
Tomatoes.
Tomatoes? Nice. Do you like bigger tomatoes, small tomatoes, red ones, yellow ones? What kind?
I like yellow ones and red ones the most.
Yellow and red the most? The yellow ones are a little bit less acidic, I think.
No.
Or sweet.
I like them a lot. I like them a lot.
They are good.
They're the same thing.
What's your secret to growing good tomatoes?
Foam.
What?
Foam.
What?
Foam.
Foam? What do you mean?
A special that thing?
You mean fungi?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean fungi? Foam and fungi? It's different. Is that what you're talking about? Is that how you grow good tomatoes? Come here.
Yeah.
Cool.
Also, they need more things. Sun and
The microphone's back here.
it's sun, water, and they need to take care of. That's the secret.
That's a secret. Take care of the sun and water.
No, the plants.
Oh, the plants do? All right. Well, thanks for sharing your insight.
You're welcome.
Yeah, he loves getting out in the garden. Oh, going on almost an hour here. Anybody tuning in, drop a comment in the chat. Anything you want to talk about, we'll talk about it here tonight. One second, I'll be right back. All right. I have a small greenhouse and want to grow in it like a cold frame. It's about 10 feet by 8 feet. Yeah, that's a nice little size depending on, what I see helps out a lot is if you seal up your greenhouse, you can really extend the growing in it even more. Hey, can you go play, buddy? Love you. I have a balcony garden. I just bought a wide greenhouse cover. Yeah, it's hard to tell. To like have depending on I don't know how cold it gets where you're at during the winter, um, but it is very hard to stop the temperature from permeating through barriers of many different types. Essentially, you need an insulating layer, so layers of air between the outside world and then the inside of your greenhouse or growing space or whatever. Um, that is really the only way to do it. And then you also obviously need the rays of sun to get through to heat up the space as well. But if you're, it's really hard. I've tried to just cover things with plastic before, and it just really doesn't quite do it. But I don't know where you're at. Where I'm at, it gets like negative 20 degrees, so it gets very, very cold. Boston. Yeah. I'm like you, Manda. Uh, yeah, and that's awesome. Like it's cool that you're utilizing the space that you have too. Like when we had the condo, we just grew whatever we could inside and had a small little growing space outside, and that was it. But we learned and we grew and just did it all anyways because that's what gardeners do. If you guys got anything you want to talk about, drop a comment in the chat. Let's talk about it. Hi, Amber. All welcome. Good to hear from you. I see you in the comments all the time. Hi there. Quick question. My planter raised beds with turnips, beets, radishes. Should I cover them from frost? Would they still grow? Cover them with plastics? Thoughts. My first year doing this. Not sure. Um, you You can cover them if you're going to get a pretty decent frost. I definitely recommend doing that. Like just covering them later into the season will extend the growth of your plants. Just that's as down to it as it gets. But if you're if you don't have the resources to do it, or if you don't have the time to do it, don't worry about doing it. They'll most likely be okay unless you get temperatures that are, down below like 25 degrees. That's when they start having trouble with it. But a light frost and even a heavy frost, they can grow just fine through and not have any issues whatsoever. So with that being said, it is always beneficial to just cover them up if you see something coming. You can cover with plastic. You can cover with they just make little frost sheets, or garden frost protection. Just search that online, or just go into your local gardening center and they'll know exactly what you're looking for. Definitely will help out. But turnips, beets, and radishes, you might be amazed at how hardy they actually are when growing. I believe last year we were growing some of our hardy crops up until like the second week of November. They were still growing. And we actually had some kale and stuff that grew all winter long as well. So we were able to get some harvest off of that, like just tiny little bits, but it was still growing throughout the entire winter, which was cool. Roots and Refuge Farm on YouTube has a good video on cold frames made from plastic frames. Yeah, Roots and Refuge, they got a lot of cool resources. A lot of cool resources. Amber, the approach that I'm kind of taking in my garden as far as covering is I will keep them uncovered as long as possible in the hopes that I just don't have to do any extra work with them. So what I try and incorporate with our gardens and our lifestyles is just like as little input as possible, the better. So more plants I can grow that do well in our area, the better. And slowly over time, we're going to find the winners and, the go-to plants that we absolutely know we're going to be growing every single year. Think it's too late for kale. Amber, what zone are you again? How many more weeks you got before your first frost date? When is your first frost date, Amber, if you know that? Ours is coming up here. Like usually ours is the third week of October, I think, maybe. So not too long. And in fact, we've gotten frosts already before, so it's here. Amber, let us know how many weeks. If you can really just get kale producing in about, I would say, if you got 4 weeks. And then, say you get a frost date, you get some very, very heavy frost for the next couple of weeks after that, you could still be harvesting your kale. So as long as you got a few more weeks left until your first frost date, I would say you're just fine. You can probably put in some kale. It's not going to be incredible, but if you got nighttime temperatures above 50 degrees, oh gosh, not sure, probably too late. Yeah, if your nighttime temperatures are consistently below 50 degrees, then it's probably too late. But if they're above, if your nighttime temperatures are still about 50, 55 degrees, and daytime's like 60, 65, then you're probably okay. But if you've dropped down to now you've got daytime temperatures of 50, 55 and nighttimes at, 40, 45, probably not going to be able to get them to grow at this point. Maybe if you grew seedlings indoors and started them indoors and then transplanted outdoors, but then you're just getting so late in the season. I'm not sure if it would really be worth it. Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. Give us a thumbs up and drop a question in the chat. If you got any questions or AMA style, you can ask me anything, talk about anything, whatever it might be. Just let us know. Drop a comment in the chat. Might just, I mean, right, Amber, seeds are cheap, so you might as well. And then you might just happen to leave a couple of those seedlings in there all winter long and just let them grow and see if they survive the winter. And then there you have it. You got a perennial plant that you don't have to grow and seed every single year, reducing the amount of time that you have to spend in your garden. Cool stuff, huh? That's how it works. Ooh, almost dropped something. Oh. We're gonna probably call her quits in the next 15 minutes, 20 minutes maybe. We'll get some final chats going. Sometimes it is hard for these live streams to tell when would be the best time to get engagement, and it's so hard because people all live different lifestyles, different time zones and everything as well. So we do the best we can. But if we got anybody else who is burning to get some questions answered, please comment it down below. We'll talk about it. Whatever it might be, just let me know so we can talk about it here before I check out. And if we get some good conversation going, I will stay on the live stream. Also, side note, love that you guys have tried so much. Inspiring. Not a huge space, but we definitely make the most of it. And love your dahlias. Beautiful. Thank you so much, Amber. We do. We try and grow a little bit of everything. We're trying to fill in all of the little nooks and crannies of this current property that we're on. Got about 0.34 acres on our property. And with these 0.34 acres, we have the 9 raised garden beds. So those are 4x8 garden beds. We have 2 big herb beds. We've got 4 apple trees, pear tree. We have the new flower bed area, which is probably a space that's about 20 feet by 20 feet-ish, and then kind of goes along the backside of a property. We just built that this year. We're going to be growing all of our dahlias, gladiolas, different types of flowers, probably have some different bulbs and tubers growing in there, whatever, anything I could find will be growing in that space. So the non-vegetable stuff will be growing in that flower space. We've got willow trees that we're growing. We've got front flower beds that we've built as well. All kinds of stuff. Elderberry trees. We've got basket weaving willow trees as well. We do try and fill up as much as we can here. And that's why I'm so excited for the future, for getting in more acreage to get some animals and really build what we're trying to build in the long term. It's going to be all the more fun. So what we're doing now is just kind of training and growing and learning as much as we can before we get to that phase. So we are fully set. You know, we used to have animals when I was younger, but it's been a while and I know it takes a lot of work. So the more I can nail down the vegetable gardens, the flower gardens, all that kind of stuff before we get the animals, the better. You know, that's what my vision is with that kind of stuff and why we try and do as much as we can. And I love inspiring people. I love being able to understand that there are people out in the world that are hopefully building better decisions and building their lives in a positive way through gardening. That's what it's all about. That is what it's all about. All right. Anybody got something they want to talk about? Drop it in the chat. Thank you so much, Amber. Synthesize with Yep. Yeah, the gladiolas. It was kind of a bummer because usually they do really well. I have never had very much of a problem with gladiolas, but then this year they took forever just to sprout up, to peek their heads through the soil. It wasn't until like might have even been like late July-ish. And then the weather patterns were all weird, so they didn't flower right, and it wasn't very good. But I will still probably store the bulbs and grow them next year in hopes that it's a little bit better. I don't know. But definitely going to store all of our dahlia tubers because I love them. Is my sign off because Caesar's seizure later is my sign off because I was a paramedic a long time ago. Seizure later, Barbara. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Love all of the viewers. Love goes out to all of you, and appreciation so much for supporting the channel in whatever way that you can. Thumbs up, just watching, just dropping a comment every now and then, letting me know how you're doing as well. Really appreciate it. All right. Anybody else? Last call. Drop a comment. Question. Ask me anything, something you want to talk about, whatever it might be, in the chat. Otherwise, I'm going to dip out for the night. I know there's a lag in here, so just give it a little bit, just in case. Margiani family, hello. We are just about to end this live stream tonight, but I tell you what, if you've got anything on your mind that you want to talk about, or if you've got a question, I'll give you a couple more minutes, and if you drop a comment in the chat, we'll talk about it. If not, otherwise we're about to have a good night. Bye, Amanda. Yes, hopefully we will see you next Thursday again, depending on life and where things are at. As always, living a busy life. Hopefully I will see you next Thursday. Amber, thank you for all that you share. Absolutely. Love your enthusiasm. God bless you. God bless you and your family and loved ones and friends as well. Thank you so much for tuning in. Yes, Amanda, if you catch me on these live streams, there's more than enough space to go through every single comment. That's the struggle that I go through making the live streams, is just keeping engagement and getting conversation going. Seems like typically it usually takes like an hour until we get some good conversation and comments going, just because, again, people tuning at different times and stuff. But absolutely, anytime you catch me on the live stream, I will get right to your questions right away. Guaranteed. Marciani family, thank you so much. Bye-bye. Take care. Have a good night.